Welcome back. The world celebrated Mandela Day last Friday, almost a year since the demise of the late freedom icon. And for many South Africans, it was a time for community service, one of the values propagated by the Nelson Mandela Foundation. One of his friends here in Nigeria also reminisces on his life and passion.
Of one man, one vote. They want political independence.
They certainly don't come like that anymore. Nelson Mandela was a rare man with a rare passion, at least for his country.
President Nelson Mandela.
One man who got to see this passion and the other side of him was his host in Nigeria, Chief Mbazulike Amechi. A man Nigeria's first president, Nnamdi Azikiwe, believed could handle the task of providing a safe haven for the late Nelson Mandela when he needed to hide from the South African apartheid regime.
Well, the British Intelligence Service and the South African Intelligence Service, they knew that he was here. But I was then a parliamentary secretary and member of parliament. And there was nothing they could do about that. So they looked the other way. And he lived free with me. We moved about, even came to this village from Lagos at weekends and so forth. Until after about 6 months, he started getting worried. He said, look, comrade, staying away from South Africa does not help the cause of the nationalists, the African National Congress. Why, I think I should better go back to South Africa. Two things will happen. They will either kill me or send me to prison. Whichever they do will give more inspiration to the nationalists to continue the struggle rather than my staying away in Nigeria. That makes me look like a coward. And I say, comrade, I think that is a nationalistic thinking.
He also remembers that Nelson Mandela's passion was born out of the sort of person he was.
He thought very little about himself, about his own safety, about his own welfare. He was greatly interested in the overall interest of people and the tomorrow of Africa, the tomorrow of his country, the tomorrow of the black race. But again, with all this, he never harbored any prejudice or ill will against anybody. In spite of the persecution by the whites, he never really hated the whites. All he was struggling was, let there be equality. You have no right to come from Europe to come and dominate my country and drive away the black owners of the country and take over the country. No. You have settled here, you don't know, your generations have not known, and the new generation have not known how you came, so you have no place to go. You are allowed to be here. We want you to be here, but we want you to accept that the owners of the land should also be here and be free in their own country.
Now retired to his country home in Ukpo, a hilly town in Nnewi South local government area of Anambra State, Amechi serves his community as a chief. But the 50-year gap since the 6 months he was Nelson Mandela's host has done nothing to fade his memory of him as a regular young man.
We used to go to dance high life at the Empire Hotel or Kakadu Hotel and so forth. We enjoyed ourselves. He was young then and I was young. So we enjoyed ourselves. Then in our home here, he liked abacha, tapioca. That was the food he liked best in our food. And when he came out from prison and came to Nigeria, and he requested to see Zik and myself. The military was then ruling the country. They asked me to come and see him at Enugu, so I went up to Enugu with my wife to see him. That was when he came with his wife, the other one. What was the name? The one he divorced or something. Winnie. Yes. Then the first thing he asked me, what about that, my favorite food? I said, well, I didn't bring it.
Chief Amechi did make it to the line-in state of the late South African leader and, according to him, was taken to Mandela's home in Soweto. He does not keep much contact with the family now and does not have any pictures of their time together in Nigeria. But, locked deep in his heart are memories of a man he will never forget. And now to the arts. The month of July has been dedicated to the celebration of the Nobel laureate who turned 80 recently. The Crown Troupe of Africa honored Professor Wole Soyinka by performing the Dance of the Forest, written 54 years ago and dubbed as one of his most difficult plays. The director, Segun Adefila, takes a different approach to this play, giving it a more contemporary outlook. Our Tribute Tonight reviews the play performed in Terra Culture, Lagos.
When you get tired of hearing your own name, then we'll change our story. Gilda, the ultimate.
Look at her! Doesn't she look the type that would drive men to madness and self-destruction?
What do you mean?
The Dance of the Forest, written in 1960 during Nigeria's independence and was staged as part of the celebration for Professor Wole Soyinka by the Crown Troupe of Africa. A better understanding of the Yoruba culture gives one a clear sense of what this play is all about, which encourages everyone to learn from past mistakes and avoid repeating them.
Oh, they made amusing companions. But it was their latent violence which frightened me the most. I don't know what I would have done if it involved me. They appear tame enough now. So tame. So tame, in fact, I could send them home. But they forget too easy. They have no suspicion of you. No, only uncertainty.
For the first time it was staged, it ruffled many feathers, especially the elite who figured Soyinka was indirectly throwing darts at them. But the crowd here are just out to enjoy themselves. So they take the lessons and there's no hard feelings.
I thought that at this period in time, just like Dance of the Forests, the role it played when it was written is just for the nation. This national mirror, let us look at ourselves, let us look at our mirrors and see what if we can reevaluate ourselves. The play already is depressing in the sense that it's about futility, that nothing is going to change.
And the Crown Troupe interprets this play in their own unique style, using lots of songs and dance. The setting is simple, bare and black, but the lighting is a bit colorful, depicting the mood of each scene.
I would rather not watch my body dissolve like an album. There must be after death.
Happier death? Like what?
Yes, go on. Tell us, what kind of death would you prefer? A fall from a great height. Why? Why? Yes, why? Because I know what it is. I have seen it happen.
The costume is also quite impressive, but considering the technicality of this play, the director, Segun Adefila, would probably have loved to raise the bar, so he takes another approach to the play, bringing it to contemporary times.
When I read it again, I was like, number one, I was amazed. How could a Wole Soyinka write this at the age of 26? The imagery and all of those things. But it says, what he's talking about is just this continuous circle that, Fela said a lot of things. Fela is gone. My name is Segun Adefila. I want to start talking now. When are we going to start singing love songs? When are we going to write, paints? When are we going to talk about beautiful things? That, Nigeria is a beautiful place. We are enjoying. Everything is smooth for us. When are we going to stop singing corruption, there's evil, there's this, there's that?
He also has actors who are challenged to drive this message home.
taking up that role wasn't really easy for me. I had to go through a whole lot of studying people, getting to find out some things, do some questioning, do some researches. But I don't think it was really my best, but I really appreciate the little I was able to do.
And that's why they chose this play, written when Professor Wole Soyinka was just 26 years old.
Secrets of Earth. With the secrets of Earth.
When you get tired of hearing your own name, then we'll change our story. Gouda, the ultimate.
Still ahead on the news at 10, rival militias are locked in a battle at Libya's main international airport. 4 people already killed in the fighting. Please stay with us.